What's good, YouTube? FAIRDALE Kings coming back at you again with another EA Sports College Football 25 video. Make sure that you guys hit like and subscribe. Comment down below if you enjoy the content. What's good, fans? So, we had to restart our dynasty. After the patch came out, we had a collective vote among all the members of the current league, and we decided that we were going to start over. The recruiting, some other aspects were basically broke in the current dynasty as is. So we were about 5 weeks into the season. At that point, I was 4-0. I was undefeated, number one team in the country. Pretty disappointed because I had 9 5-stars lined up for Ohio State. Was killing it on the recruiting trail. Had some tough games, though, coming up. But everyone else was kind of struggling. There were a lot of 1 and 2 lost teams. We had a total of 3 undefeated teams. So we took a vote. We said, let's start this over. We'll use those first 4 or 5 weeks as a little bit of a education, get refresher back with the game. Some of these guys haven't played a football game, college football, 11 years. None of them had touched Madden. So it was a good refresher course. But now we're ready to start and get this rolling. So we held a draft on Friday night, and let's get it. So after we got together, we decided we were going to host another draft. We lost 1 member. We added those several more, so we went from 9 members. We lost 1. His son joined in. Anyway, we got to 12. So here's how that all shakes out. So draft results. I had the number 4 pick. Number 1 pick was the Texas Longhorns. We had a guy who was brand new to the league, jumped in here. He got fortunate enough that he got Texas. Warren, another one of the new guys who had been helping his dad with the Colorado team, which had been struggling mighty with Robbie behind the sticks. But his son Warren has jumped in. He's been a breath of fresh air for sure. Offensive minded, been struggling a little bit on defense to get stops, but he can move the ball and score with the best of them. So Georgia goes to Warren with the number 2 pick. Number 3 is probably going to be the favorite in the whole league. I've said this before. Last season, he was Miami. He was fortunate enough he got the number 3 pick, got his favorite team. So Jaquez and Hakeem White will be the Oregon Ducks. At number 4, I was very fortunate to get this pick. I had the last ping pong ball. Being that I was the number 1 team, we went in reverse order of records. So I ended up with the number 4 pick. I went with the Ohio State Buckeyes. I had already been playing with them in the previous dynasty. It was undefeated. They're my second favorite team. The only issue I have, though, is that I've got to look across the field, and I've got my son who beats me 3 out of 4 games. So I'm going to have to play my best game on October 12th when we meet. So I've got my work cut out for me. Probably play him again in the conference championship game, maybe. So it's going to be a tough road for me. I mean, I'm going to have to make sure I got all my ducks in a row and bring my A game. At number 5, the former coach of Texas ends up with the 5th pick here. He decides, since Texas is gone, Georgia was gone, which is the teams that he'd been rolling with the most, Ohio State as well. He ends up with Alabama. He thought about seriously about taking Notre Dame and then realized that Alabama was still there. So B-Dogs takes Alabama with the 5th pick. That's the 3rd team in the SEC was selected. At number 6, another one of those new guys who just joined. He takes Florida State. We don't know nothing about this guy. So it's one of the other buddies of one of the guys in current dynasty. But we add him to the mix. He's going to take Florida State. That's the first ACC team off the board. At number 7 was the Utah Utes. He was in the former dynasty. He was 5-0 and undefeated, number 4 in the country. He decided he was going to keep Utah. He had some success recruiting out there in the West. So you're looking at Utah with the number 7 pick. At number 8, the former Clemson owner flips the script. He's going to stay in the ACC, though. He had an option. He could go ACC or Big Ten. He didn't want no part of Oregon or the Ohio State. He went with the path of less resistance. So Bray takes Notre Dame, puts them in the ACC. At number 9 in the mix is the former Oregon owner. Zach will take Oklahoma State, stay in the same conference with his buddy. So those two are going to have a budding relationship and rivalry in the Big 12. Should be fun. Those two going head to head against each other. High-powered offense. Now the one thing with Zach and Oklahoma State, he struggles on defense, man. So he's got to put a ton of points on the board. At number 10 is another newcomer. He jumps in the mix, jumps in the frying pan with right now who's been the two best players in the 2 users so far in all the exhibition games. But jumps in and takes Penn State at number 10, joins the Big Ten. That's the third team in the Big Ten. We get down here to 11 and 12. We got 2 more SEC teams. The former LSU owner, whose only loss had been to Jaquez, he now takes Ole Miss, joins the SEC mix. He's probably one of the tougher guys in this dynasty. So it's interesting to see what he's going to do with Ole Miss. I mean, he's going to have a ton of offense for sure. And at number 12, initially, my brother Julio, he took the University of Louisville, thought better of it after we made fun of him. Ends up taking Tennessee, though. He had talked about using him anyway. So he was formerly Georgia in the previous dynasty, was 1 and 3, but his 3 losses were all to top 10 teams. But he's now rolling with Tennessee. We're going to find out what he's about. Me and him just, went head to head in the exhibition game, and he gave me all I wanted and actually beat me, pulled off with a late touchdown in the last 30 seconds to beat me. So he can beat anyone and lose to anyone at the same time. I mean, it's one of those things. I'm going to give a little bit of quick preview here. So the SEC, Ole Miss, this is the probative favorite to win the SEC. He's played well this summer, so I'm going to go ahead and tab him as the prohibitive favorite. At number 2 is Alabama. I believe that Brandon's going to bring a lot to the table. We've seen steady improvement over the course of the past 3 weeks. He's found an identity on offense. He's still got to figure out what to do on defense. There's still a lot of busted coverages, but he's become a lot better offensively. Still focused on the run. I mean, he's going to run the ball a ton, but he is a little bit more diverse on offense, can throw the ball when he needs to. Number 3 is going to be Georgia and Warren. The coach found their footing at the OC at Colorado. He's got a very tough schedule, though. He's the only user who's going to have 4 user games this year. I mean, he's at Ole Miss, he's at Alabama, he's at Texas, and he gets Tennessee at home. So he does have a tough road. Probably might be a little bit higher if it wasn't for that tough road schedule. Texas, I have nothing to go on. Nothing at all to go on. He's an unknown commodity with lots of weapons at his disposal. If he comes in here and he's halfway decent, he could definitely go up and be higher than 4. So I don't know nothing about Texas. We've got him at 4. Tennessee, that's my brother Julio, young quarterback. He's a free-willing head coach calling plays. You don't know what you're getting. You don't know if he's going to drop 11 in coverage. You don't know if he's going to bring the kitchen sink at you. He could sit there and kick an onside kick at the drop of a hat. I have no idea. He keeps you off balance. But sometimes that's a fault of his own, too, because he puts himself in bad positions too frequently to sit there and have him higher than this. In the Big Ten, Oregon is the class of the Big Ten Conference. My son is the overwhelming favorite. He's just too good at this game. Makes all kind of adjustments. He's, he can get a little bit rattled. So if you can jump on him and make him do some stuff that he's not comfortable doing, he can be shook. But if he sits there and jumps all over you, he has the ability to, it's going to be tough to beat Oregon. I think he's probably the favorite to win the whole thing. Second right now in the Big Ten, I'm naming Ohio State. 2 toughest games are on the road at Oregon and at Penn State. I'll need to continue to dominate with a high-powered offense. Defensively, I can make some stuff happen, but too inconsistent. I can sit there and pitch a shutout and then turn around and give up 97 points to Oregon in an exhibition game. So, you just don't know. It depends on how this Ohio State defense comes out and plays. We're getting a lot better. We're using different personnel, but it's going to be a rough road. Penn State, unknown coach, new coach taking over in Happy Valley. Lots of unknowns. He joins the toughest conference with the two best known users in the league. In the Big Ten, I predict the conference championship would be Oregon versus Ohio State. That'll be a rematch. Flipping back real quick on the SEC, my prediction for the SEC championship looks like Ole Miss versus Alabama. That should be nice. That should be really, really nice. Now, ACC. I've got Notre Dame as the class of the ACC. Young coach with lots of potential. Bray lacks playmakers on the perimeter with that Notre Dame team, but defense is the strength. He does a great job moving people around and keeping you off balance, both offensively and defensively. So I think that he's going to be the favorite without a doubt. Going to be able to recruit at Notre Dame, being a 5-star program. It's going to be nice to see his growth with this team. Florida State, new regime takes over. Lots of question marks surrounding the program, but there's speed ever on offense. If he's halfway adequate with the stick, he might be trouble. He might be trouble. No one knows anything about Florida State. ACC championship prediction, Notre Dame versus Florida State. Now, the one thing is I could not customize schedules. I believe these two teams are the only two teams in the whole dynasty who do not have a user opponent through the regular season. So these two teams might go 12-0 and face each other in the ACC championship for a chance to go to the playoffs. So it's going to be intriguing for sure. And then lastly, we've got the Big 12 conference with two teams. Utah has shown the brilliance throughout the summer. They've been undefeated. Haven't seen them lose yet. We expect to see the offense continue its dominance. Oklahoma State was the former Oregon coach. He got off to a little bit of a shaky start, was 2-2 with Oregon. He's taken a step back now with Oklahoma State's program. Now, they do have one of the best running backs in the game, Ollie Gordon, but there are question marks around this program. The running game should be high octane, but he is turnover prone. Zach does like to put the ball in the air and does commit a lot of turnovers. The defense is less than desirable. There's not a lot of playmakers in that back seven. So I don't know. I mean, my prediction, everything else has been user versus user. I think for the Big 12 championship game, though, you're looking at Utah versus Texas Tech for the Big 12 championship. So that's it for the preview. And then going to get into it real quick. This is just going to be a quick once-over. I think this video has already been, 12 minutes. I'm going to do another video, though, and go over my recruiting with Ohio State. But I'm just going to look at the board real quick. I mean, as you see, these guys are sorted nationally. I've got some pretty high-profile players. Of course, I'm Ohio State, so it's a little bit of a cheat code, obviously. But you see that I've got right now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. 17 5-stars on the board. I'm not recruiting all these guys. I'm not going to do it. I'm picking and choosing my battles, so I'm gonna get out and mix with them. I'm going to focus on about 20, 22 guys. Go after those guys hot and heavy. Try to get some commitments, and then I'll, if I can get guys committed by week 4, we'll flip the script and add some other guys to the board. So as you see, this is the quick glance at the board. There are some very, very nice players. I'm going to go in this, though, in more detail in the next video, so stay tuned. But yeah, FAIRDALE Kings Dynasty, we're in week 0. We're going to be kicking off here soon, so come back. I'll go through the recruiting of week 0 on the next video. But thank you guys for watching. FAIRDALE Kings, and I'm out. Make sure if you guys enjoy these videos that you're coming back, hit like and subscribe. Totally free to subscribe. We're going to have some more tips and tricks, strategy. We'll be following this dynasty for the next couple of weeks for sure. Stay tuned. That's all I can say. Should be fun. Should be definitely fun. I'm out for now.